All right, guys, we're here to talk Queen of the Ring, and I got the Queen of the Trivia on the TikTok. Diamond Dallas Barb. Barb, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Good. I found Barb WrestleMania weekend on TikTok, and I don't know if you're familiar how TikTok work, people, but I don't know. You just like recommend things, and they just wound up. I don't even know I was in the live, but I ended up in the live, and it was trivia. And then we have Barb just reading WrestleMania questions, and 3 hours later, I guess we were there, and I hung out with them and played trivia. It was fun. Both nights before WrestleMania, that's what we've done. And I've done it a few other times either. So we'll plug that at the end. But if you like wrestling trivia, and you guys do, we'll have to plug your stuff, and I'll link it and all that stuff, Barb, and people will go there and find you for the trivia because you are the queen of the trivia.
Oh, thank you.
So it's fitting for us to talk about Queen of the Ring. Now, real quick, what do you think of this final matchup before we kind of break down how we got there? Jade Cargill and Asuka are your finalists for Queen of the Ring. What do you think? That's the right matchup off the rip, or what do you think?
I personally didn't see this being the final at all. I didn't.
It's
I'm not
interesting mix of
I'm
guys.
not mad at it though. Both of these women are very dominant, and they have completely different styles. So I'm really excited to see them in the ring together. And I mean, both of these women have had long-standing undefeated streaks. Granted, they're not undefeated anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm excited to see it. And the stories that will come out of this either way, I think will fit. It's
Yeah,
nothing out there.
I like the result for Asuka a little bit better than I like the result for Jade, just because I feel like it's more fitting for the time frame. But then again, who knows if Tiffany will be the champ by then, with like Nia Jax and the Money in the Bank looming and all that stuff. So it's interesting. I feel that Jade is a priority more than Asuka, and this is just like more of a welcome back. But we'll see if that changes when we predict it at the end. But I think you said it perfectly. It's an interesting mix of women, and I agree. So, but before we got to the finals, this is how we got there. The first match, which feels like forever, was Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley, and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez won. Do you feel that was the right result out of those four women?
I actually do.
Okay.
I know a lot of people would have gone with Rhea in that situation, but Rhea is a top star already, and the outcome of this isn't just becoming queen of the ring. You are going to get a championship match for your respective brand. Granted, that could change
Mm-hmm.
because WWE changes things all the time,
Yeah.
but you don't have to have Rhea Ripley win a match in order to get a title opportunity or anything like that. Um, Rhea's already pretty much in the title picture as it is. So I felt Roxanne was the right choice in this situation. It definitely fuels the fire with her storylines and everything, especially with kind of Liv.
Liv
Granted, things
out
have
there too. Yeah.
changed. Yeah, but I definitely think Roxanne Perez was the right fit to win that match.
Yeah, and that brought us to the next match was Jade Cargill, Meechin, Nia Jackson, Piper Niven. I don't even remember that match. And the winner would face Roxanne, which we saw last night. I assume that you're going to agree that was the right result, unless if you're like a Piper Niven mark or something. But do you feel that Jade was the right winner out of those four?
Granted, I love Piper Niven. I know she gets a lot of hate and everything like that, but especially if you saw her in NXT UK and everything like that, you could probably understand why I feel that way. But I felt it was the right choice. Granted, I don't remember the match either. That's
Yeah,
how kind of off the wall it was.
feels
So,
like forever ago. But I do remember this one because I was pleasantly surprised by the winner. Alexa Bliss defeated Alba Faya, Candice LeRae, and Charlotte Flair. I figured Charlotte was going to win this one, but I like how they did that, and I like how it played into like this ongoing Alexa and Charlotte budding friendship or whatever, teaming with respect or what veteranship, whatever they got going on. And I like that Alexa kind of won. I felt that she kind of needed it since she's fresh off a return as well. Did you think that was the right winner out of those four?
absolutely. I was afraid that they were going to plug Charlotte. She's the queen. Why not give her a queen of the ring title? But it definitely, with Alexa taking that victory, it does definitely fuel that situation with Charlotte. And we really don't know where it's going to go. And I'm kind of interested to see that. We've seen him in backstage promos, in the
Yeah,
ring.
and this match was the perfect conduit to kinda accelerate quickly because we
Yeah.
haven't seen him backstage for a little bit too. So I'm interested. I'm just glad Alexa's not really in that, like, Wyatt Six universe. I like her outside of that, even though she still has aspects of it because of merchandise, I assume, and maybe one day they wanna go back there. But I don't know, I just really like Alexa Bliss, but I like Alexa Bliss in, like, 2016, 17, 18, 19. I don't really get the Wyatt stuff with her, but I understand it, right? So,
I really don't understand why people plug that so much. I I don't want her to go that aspect.
yeah,
I feel like, kind of steering off topic a little bit, the Wyatt Six hasn't been doing it for me.
nah, it's a
The ship
miss.
has sailed and stuff, and you're never going to be able to match the creative energy that was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was the creativity of that. It doesn't matter if you have his book or not. You still, half of his thoughts were in his head as it was.
Yeah.
You're never going to do that. So keeping her separate but still honoring his legacy is perfect for me. Just leave Alexa how it is. And
Yeah,
then with her
plenty of
winning
truth.
that, exactly. But with her winning that, I feel like she has kind of been duped a little bit since returning. So giving her this win, I appreciated that and everything like that. So
And then I was pleasantly surprised by this too. Or I was like a little bit shockingly surprised, let's put it that way. Asuka defeated Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Vaquer. I thought for sure it would have been Vaquer, but makes a little bit more sense to kind of juice up Asuka on her return. And maybe it's not time for Vaquer, so might as well. We don't want to give her a loss. Let's kind of have her lose in that like multi-women fashion where she doesn't really get affected. But what did you think Asuka was the correct winner out of the final first round matchup?
I thought it was going to be Vaquer too. But I was pleasantly surprised with Asuka and her return. I mean, her return was unexpected too. I thought they would have kind of done a little bit something bigger for her, but having
So
her win this was kind of big in a sense. I have an interesting thought, which I will get into when we talk more about Jade and Asuka themselves. But you're completely right with Vic Hair. Technically, you didn't have her being pushed, but you didn't have her lose cleanly or lose in a vicious way or whatever in a singles match. So you don't hurt Stephanie and her reign coming into the main roster itself. So having her lose in a fatal four-way match. Perfect.
yeah, no doubt. And that would bring us to the semifinals, concluding last week on Friday Night SmackDown and last night on Monday Night Raw. And it would make sense now that why Roxanne Perez won that first round matchup to be a foil to go out there and have a good match with Jade Cargill, perhaps, but that wasn't really the result. They went out there and kind of had a sloppy match in 11 minutes and 20 seconds. I felt like I don't really wouldn't put that on Roxanne either. It just feels like Jade needed reps and this was a safe way to do it, but it just felt that she was like clunky, out of step, two left foot. I don't know. I just felt that it was a little bit disappointing, but I do feel like she was the correct winner. What did you think of that match, and what did you think of Jade winning over Roxanne?
I feel Jade, in a sense, was. I wanted Roxanne to win because I felt her winning would have kind of done a little bit differently. But with the situation of Liv not being here anymore because of her injury, I think they made the best call with Liv not being here because Liv was fueling a lot of different storylines on Raw and everything like that. And she was the glue to hold half of these things together. So obviously you have to pivot. And
Yeah,
I think probably Roxanne was going to be the outcome of this match if it
really?
wasn't for Liv being injured. Um, but I could see definitely why they have to pivot, and Jade is still a good choice because Jade is in there with the SmackDown main title picture with Naomi and stuff like that, you have a you have a storyline there involving the main title picture. So
Yeah.
having Jade win wasn't so far left field. But you are correct. I didn't personally like this match. I feel the only thing that saved this match was Roxanne Perez. Jade was very clunky and she had a lot of botches in this match. And it was it was definitely disappointing. I think honestly, this was probably one of Jade's worst matches in my opinion since coming to the WWE.
Yeah, and then it's in there with Roxy, who's super protected, super useful for them, and really trusted. A little girl that she can go out there and create awesome bumps for Jade's powerful offense and stuff like that. She's yeah, 20 what, 4 years old, but she's a veteran, been doing it for forever, right? So she's very trusted and just it's not on her, it's kind of on Jade. It's unfortunate. I like Jade, like the character, the presentation, but if they're gonna go with this, she's gonna go out there and have better matches. And that was kind of a just not a pass, right? It was kind of a little bit unfortunate, but the match I did thought was pretty decent for what they did with Friday Night SmackDown was Asuka defeating Alexa Bliss. Like again, harping earlier, I was kind of rooting for Bliss, but I feel that Jade and Asuka is probably a better matchup, right? But yeah, it was a good match. It was like there's such thing as like gentleman threes, right? That you have the guys. This would be like a Madams three. A pretty good match, TV match, professionals, both returning, felt fresh, even though they've been in the company forever. And yeah, I was into it. But I felt that, like I said a little earlier, I wish Bliss won, but that's just more me than really anything. I get why they went with Asuka. Right result for you? What do you think?
I same result in with you. I absolutely agree. I wanted Bliss to win because, like I said earlier, I feel like she's kind of been, oh, you get our hopes up with Alexa Bliss since her return, and then you kind of dial it back. So I was kind of disappointed, but I could definitely see where kind of with bringing Asuka with that victory into this match. I'm not mad at Asuka. I've always been a fan of Asuka. She's a talent in the ring like no other that I've seen.
I don't know
And
about this new
Asuka,
finisher, like the butt move. I don't know about that. That's a little weird, but yeah, it's like she's
uh,
getting old. It makes sense, right? But still, yeah.
yeah, definitely. But at the same time, it's like even as she gets older and stuff like that, Asuka is still one of my faves in the ring. Just her style, I love it. And I could see definitely where they could go with Asuka going forward. And I would like to talk to you about that when we get to this next match.
Well, let's roll it out right now. We get JADE CARGILL versus Asuka in the finals. I don't know if you were to do like a mock draft or an NCAA tournament, you would pick this, however you want to look at it. I would have probably picked Jade and Vaquer, but I gotta understand, I want to protect Vaquer, but this is a good backup plan. And it's interesting, but it's a little worrisome just because from a quality standpoint, that is right. Jade's coming off the Rocky match with us with Roxanne, and then Asuka, this is her second one-on-one match in about what, 17, 18 months? About that, honestly. So I don't know. I'm sure Jade probably benefits from being super rehearsed. I don't know if they'll have that. So, and it didn't benefit her with Roxanne. So I don't know. What do you got for us in this match? I'm a little skeptical on the quality, but I'm intrigued by the winner, which I don't really not sure where th're gonna go. So what do you got?
With this match, I do not think it's going to be a 5-star classic. I mean, I think at best we're going to get a 3-star match out of them.
I think that would be a win.
Yeah, a win. um, Jade is the worrisome person in this match. When you look at Asuka and you've looked at how she's performed since she's got back, just the match qualities of Asuka's matches, I don't think she's missed a step. I mean, coming off of a knee injury and everything like that, I don't see Asuka missing a beat. And I think Asuka's going to shine in this match versus Jade. With that being said, um, I have I have my theories on what well, not theories, my hopes for this match coming out of it, because I don't want Jade to win. I don't.
So you think SummerSlam, because the winner does get a women's title match from their brand on SummerSlam. So you feel that EO versus Asuka is the better match, or why do you not want Jade to win? You just don't like her, or not? You just like Asuka more. Let's put it that way.
It's not so much I like Oscar more. It's the match that we're going to get. I like Oscar versus Io Sky way better than I would like Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, or even a repeat of Naomi and Jade
Yeah.
Cargill. I mean, in today's time, Oscar and Io is one of the matches that I want to see.
Yeah, that's a really good third from a top SummerSlam night one or two, right? That can really rely on that match. And there's Asuka has a lot of juice that will probably dry up the longer she's post return, but she's fresh off her return. She's a fave of Triple H, of course. And she does have some juice, even though I think her character is kind of limiting, right? I think you can only get so much out of it, but might as well cash in those chips right away with a SummerSlam match. And historically, I like Asuka winning Queen of the Ring, like for her and for Queen of the Ring, right? Because Jade, yeah, she's a big star and she has a lot of appeal, but historically, you don't know where she's going to be in 6, 12, or 18 months. For her being Queen of the Ring could be weird. But with Asuka, it's a safe bet, and you get a really, really good SummerSlam match. So I'm rooting for Asuka, but if we were like a betting, I'd probably bet Jade.
Uh, that's why my mama told me not to bet.
Yeah. Who do you got as we get out of here? DDB. And of course, you're going to tell us about your socials and all that stuff. So who's winning and what do you got for us socials wise?
Obviously, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna pick Oscar for this match.
Going with your heart?
What?
You're going with your heart or your heart from Boston? Heart.
My heart and a little bit of my head, because I feel Triple H will make the right decision and do Oscar and Io. That
Yeah.
is the match that will actually sell tickets. Let's just be honest.
You can rely on it on a card structure standpoint for sure. So I would go with that.
Exactly. And you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with Io Sky in that picture. I mean, there's a reason why Io Sky is champion. Io Sky has come so far, coming from barely being able to speak a lick of English. She's phenomenal in the ring. She's getting way better on the mic. This will tell a story. But there's also history there with Asuka and Io being
Mhm.
a part of Damage Control and everything like that, and Damage Control now being uh, quietly defunct earlier this year.
Yeah.
I like this. Uh,
Yeah. I hope that's what they go with. So I agree.
yeah.
All right. Friday night before SmackDown, you're pretty consistent with the trivia. What else you got going on? What links should I link? Who should we follow? All is it all TikTok? What's going on with you?
Well, obviously, you guys can follow me at Diamond Dallas Barb on TikTok, but I don't go live on my personal accounts. I go live on Chair Shots. It is Cactus effing Chris. He's an amazing trivia host in and of himself. He's an amazing wrestling content creator, way better than me. I'm just a mod, a GM for SmackDown. I go 1 hour live on Chair Shots. Right now, we're doing a giveaway for a really amazing Evolution action figure. Batista, Triple H, and Randy Orton. Obviously, this action figure comes from a time when Ric Flair was not with the WWE.
It's a
Couldn't
Target
get the
special.
rights to him. What?
That's a Target special. I think I
Yes,
have.
they couldn't get the rights to him. So obviously, I'm doing some Evolution trivia and everything. Uh, this week, Friday night, we're going with somebody who's not in the action figure pack himself. We're going to go with Ric Flair trivia. Then we're following it up with Batista, Randy Orton, and then the game himself, Triple H trivia. At the end of it, we're giving it away. You have chances to win. I'm even going to be throwing in some Night of Champions Vengeance, by the way, because that's the original pay-per-view for this pay-per-view here.
June, yeah. Nice.
So,
Some evolution history with that too, for sure.
yeah, I'm doing trivia this Saturday night for Night of Champions. I might even stay live for Night of Champions. You never know. But there's plenty of opportunities to earn spots on this wheel. And I can't wait to see who the winner is. But that's where you can find me. I really don't do much other socials besides my personal socials, but it's where you can find me. Chair Shots and Diamond Dallas Barb.
All right, I'll tag him in the description, and then guys go check her out. DDB, it was fun to have you, and we'll see you next month for Evolution.
Awesome. It was awesome being here. Thank you.